I'm here in my illustrious corporate headquarters, which you can tell also double as my garage. Given my history with disasters, it shouldn't come as a surprise that I'm totally into preparedness and self-sufficiency. When I was about 5 years old, my parents bought a hollowed out, rusty old boat, and they rebuilt it. My dad put in a Toyota motor instead of a marine engine because it was cheaper, and he had an extra one, I guess, and we decided to go sailing around the world. What actually ended up happening is we sailed for about a year and a half and ended up on an island called Tutuila, which is part of American Samoa. And we lived there for 5.5 years. And so while we were living in Samoa, I had the opportunity to live through 2 different hurricanes. The first hurricane, Hurricane Opha, was a bit of a wake-up call to us. It didn't really destroy much of our house, but it did wipe out about half of the village. We didn't have power or water for about a month afterwards, so we had to hike about a mile to get water to flush the toilet once a day. And between the 8 of us that were living in the house at the time, that was pretty disgusting. And it taught me the importance of preparation, but it didn't really hurt. Hurricane Val, on the other hand, was a completely different matter. Most of you may have heard about how when I was about 10, I had to spend the night in water that came about up to my ears with the bed right here in front of me for the entire night as the hurricane literally destroyed our house. The reason for that was twofold. One, the bed protected us from the flying glass and debris, and it also stopped us from getting sucked out. As the hurricane was ripping our roof off, it created a vacuum which is known to suck people out of it. And since I was a small kid, my mom shoved me under the bed. We were all hiding under beds actually that entire night. After the hurricane, however, we found our car. It was about a mile away. It had been blown about a mile away. It was very dented, but it ran, and we drove down to the valley where we had some friends. Luckily for us, they had enough food for themselves as well as for us, and so we ended up camping on their lawn for about 2 months until we got a new home. I remember that very first week after the hurricane, they had a girl about my age, and since all of my clothes had been destroyed, I had to wear her clothes. And as a 10-year-old kid, that was pretty awkward, but I got over it. Clothes were clothes. Eventually somebody gave me a couple t-shirts and a pair of shorts, and I was good to go. But these early experiences have led me to a lifelong pursuit of preparedness, always making sure that I know what disasters and what risks are in my area, and then accounting for and preparing for those disasters and risks. Part of that has been for me to collect seeds that I can grow in my area and provide food for myself and my family. So what are the 2 biggest questions that people ask me about seeds? The first question is, how do I grow my seeds? The second question is, how do I save my seeds? What I've done is I've compiled a seed saving guide. I already had a seed saving guide that I would send out for free to people all the time, but I'm really proud of this one. What I've done is, not only do I have specific information that applies to all of the different varieties of heirloom seeds, but I also put together general instructions that apply to every different category of vegetable. For example, tomatoes or carrots or eggplants. They all have different ways of harvesting the seeds. Take tomatoes for an example. A tomato, you cut the tomato in half, you squeeze the seeds out, you put them in a cup full of water and you let them ferment and rot and mold for about 3 or 4 days. You rinse them out, you dry them, you save them. Carrots, on the other hand, you harvest your carrots, you save a bunch of them over the winter inside, you replant them, they'll grow a new plant, and then you harvest the seeds from that new plant in the second year. So different seeds, different varieties need to be saved in completely different ways. Okay, so what I've also done is I got special permission from a seed-saving expert, a man by the name of Bill Merrill, to post his seed-saving videos for you guys. So you can watch these videos and see specifically how to save different types of seeds, what those seeds should look like when they're ready to be harvested, as well as how to tell if they're dry. And after this, there's another video where I will show you how to package those same seeds.